Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. It's another Saturday, and I'm so excited because for the past 2 weeks, I've not been able to come your way. But thank God it's another Saturday where I get a chance to come and speak to my beloved creatives. So it's Eric here. My name is Eric Amwakabwedu, and this program that you're watching is African Art Talks with Eric. This is where we come your way every Saturday, 3 p.m. UK time or thereabouts, to talk about everything to do with the creative activities in the Black community, especially centering on the continent of Africa. So when we come your way, we promote creativity. We talk about every artist or creative in the continent and what they are doing. We also share our story because story sharing is really important when it comes to creativity. And most importantly, when it comes from our own community, when it comes from us rather than another race or tribe trying to tell our story for us. So that is what excites me about this program. We tell our own story from our own point of view, whether it's through fashion, whether it's through paintings, whether it's through carvings, whether it's through sculpture, any form of creativity. That is what I'm here for. And today I'm so excited because I'm bringing you a friend of mine who I admire so much. His commitment to creativity is next to none. So if you've joined us, just invite all your friends, share the link that I shared earlier on my Facebook page. Make sure that it reaches far and wide and that you've invited everyone. But before then, let me check whether you can all hear me. Just put it in the comment box if you can hear me so that I carry on and not talk in vain. So let me check myself. I'm just going to go on my YouTube channel to check whether everything I'm saying is coming out loud and clear. So, yes, I can hear myself speaking. I can see myself on my YouTube channel. And today, the special guest that I've got is somebody who will blow your mind with what he's achieved in the short period of time. So, let me not waste too much time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read his biography and then I'll bring him on right now. Right. So, as you can all see on screen, my guest is a Nigerian artist born in 1988 in the state of Ibadan, Nigeria. So, Oluwole Omofemi originally, comes from Ibadan, as I said earlier on, but he's originally born Godwin Oluwole Omofemi. And he's an international artist who hails from Edo State, south of Nigeria. He was born in the ancient city of Ibadan, where his artistic talent sprang to life and received the nourishment of older artists. Now, Omofemi shared his earlier life with his grandpa, who was a major influence on his life and wanted him to become an electrician. But as a child, he loved to display his creativity through infantile drawings on the floor. He dazzled older neighbors with such displays that one day a woman once predicted his future as an artist would be bright. He not only experienced a measure of hardship in his childhood, but also faced lonely spells. These further helped to deepen his artistic vision and provided sources of material for his creativity. Omofemi's mother, together with young Omofemi, later reunited with his grandpa, and still seething with great creativity, he was registered at a primary school where he later became one of the best students in there. In his early years, he was compelled to hawk beer. While doing this, he used a part of his earnings to buy sketchbooks in order to kickstart his art career. This hustle and bustle in Ibadan metropolis, especially the popular Dugbe market, were factors that imbued in him his creative impulses. Now, he received his higher national diploma from the Polytechnic of Ibadan, where he was also recognized as one of the best students. Now, his first art exhibition was at the National Museum in Ibadan, Nigeria, Alliance Francaise Ibadan, where he was hosted for this exhibition. And then later on in his life, he's risen so much that his works are all over, from Lagos to Nigeria, from UK to USA, Italy, Belgium, Spain, and name it. Now, I'm not going to bore you too much by reading through his whole bio, but I'm going to allow him to come on screen to talk to us about himself. So let us all welcome our friend, Femi. How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing too, Mr.
Yes,
Eric?
good to see you again.
Good to
It's good
connect
to
with
see
you.
you.
Yeah,
Always good to see you.
yeah, it's a pleasure.
How's Ibadan at the moment? Are you at
Yeah,
Ibadan?
yeah, I'm in Ibadan at the moment. Ibadan is in
Hey,
Nigeria. I'm in Ibadan at the moment.
that's the home to
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
So, audience, make him feel very welcome. Write in the comment box, give him likes, and make him feel so welcome to this platform. But today's interview, as we usually do, is going to be an informal chat with our friend Femi, as everyone calls him. Oluwole is what others will call him. Others will also call him Femi.
yeah,
Great. So the last time we spoke was in 2020.
yeah. I remember.
And yes, that was in the heart of the coronavirus,
Yes,
COVID-19, very hectic times. But you made time to speak to me at that time, and I appreciate it so much.
yeah.
I also appreciate you coming on this afternoon. So thank you so much. And
Yeah, you're
we'll
welcome.
dive straight into the interview. So, from the last time we spoke, I've seen the rapid rise in your career, and I've seen so many things. I'm just going to share some of them so that we can talk about it. Though your works have been shown in major institutions in the UK auction industry, from Christie's to Phillips to Sotheby to Bonhams. I mean, tell us something about it. How did it all happen?
Well, I want to give God all the glory and for giving me, such opportunity, to be having my work being auctioned in one of some of these biggest institutions. So I give God all the glory for that. So for me, everything happened like a kind of like a magic to me
Mm,
because as an artist, I've always believed in myself. I've always believed that I will go to places that I'm going to do well in life, no matter what the situation is. I'm going to survive. So for me, it's just the grace of God
that's right.
and hard work. I have to put it that way too, because when the grace is there and you know you are not being hard working, both two of them work together. So
Mm,
you have the grace of God, which is there to open channels, to open doors for you. Then the hard work part, by giving all your best, by making sure that you are the best in your field. You are making sure you're having this kind of mindset that you want to be the best. So in your field, so that I think that those are the factors for me that really work for me. And some of these things that happen around me, uh, I'm happy, but it opens a new way for other artists, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, because it has opened a new, platform, giving a lot of artists new
yeah.
hope that if Omofemi can actually achieve some of these things in this short time, then it's very possible for me to also get this done. So I think, these are some of the things that have really evolved around the last time we spoke and now.
And well done for what you've achieved. I mean, I can tell that you've really put in the work.
Thank
One
you
thing
very
that you
much.
said that's really, really important is that fame or popularity or success cannot come if you are not putting in the work. Putting
Yes.
in the work is fundamental, isn't it?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Really
Yeah.
fundamental. As a result, there have been publications all over the world with your name on it: Financial Times, Al Jazeera, OK Africa, name it. You have really in 2020 to about now been all over. Your name is all over the world, and as you said, it couldn't have happened without the hard work that you put in.
Yeah. 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 I think for me, like what, thank God for everything. I won't
Mm,
deny that, I found the grace of God, the favor of the Almighty God.
Yes.
And the truth of the matter is that, all these things that really evolve around me, every day of my life, I keep asking, how did all this really happen? And at
Right.
times I try to sit down and, trying to understand who Omofemi is. And
Mm-hmm.
at the point in my life, I was trying to find out who Omofemi is. So I was looking for myself in myself, which
Yes.
was very difficult for me because some of this, and, with all this same everything, nothing has really changed about me. I'm still my old self, the same me. I still go to those joints, those local joints
That's right.
where I go to eat food and I sit with people. I'm not this
Wow.
type, so I choose to live that kind of life because I don't want to have a kind of intimidation for people. I want to live a normal life that an average man could live. So some of these places that I still go to, people that know me, I still go there, have drink with them, sit
And
with them,
chat
and
with them
also
as
discuss.
normal.
Yeah,
Amazing.
so these are some of
Amazing.
the things about me, and I'm happy that all these things happen because 20, 15 years ago, things like this was not really happening in the art scene, both in Nigeria and
Yeah.
outside. Because for a living artist, to go to an auction and have such kind of prizes in the auction, I think it's really amazing, and I will never take that for granted. It has shown a new wave. It has, bring a new hope to the
It
younger
has.
artists of my, generation, and even motivate the older artists too, to really tell them that impossibility is nothing. That once you can think certain things, you can also achieve it.
That's right. And talking about the prices that you command, I mean, it's amazing for a living artist, as you said, to command these prices at major auctions in the UK and all over the world. I'm not going to mention numbers, but if people Google you, they'll see for themselves. The prices
Uh-huh.
for each piece of your artwork far outweighs even what the auctioneers put on these artworks. It's amazing. It's amazing. It can
Yeah,
only be God, isn't it? It can only be God.
yeah.
Yeah, for a living
Mm-hmm.
artist. No. And so moving on from all these success that's come your way, I think something even much bigger happened in May 2022 when you were commissioned by Tesla Magazine to
Okay, yeah.
paint the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II. So
Mm-hmm.
tell us
Yeah.
about how it happened. This painting is something else, and I want us to focus this interview on just this painting alone because it's no small achievement at all.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Did you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear
That's
you.
right.
Yeah. So last year, Tatler magazine in London,
That's right.
wanted to do something different,
Mm,
to celebrate our Royal Majesty, the late Royal Majesty, the Queen of England, late Queen
yes.
Elizabeth. So, and they wanted to approach it in a different form. And
Right.
they want an artist from the Commonwealth country, which Nigeria happens to be one of the Commonwealth, nations. So,
That's right.
and they want a black artist to paint the portrait of the Queen. So in the
Okay.
process, there were a lot of consultations, who to paint, who to choose, who to paint the portrait. And in the whole process, uh, they contacted my gallery, which is Signature African Art in London, about the
Yeah.
whole project, and they suggested me. And after the whole thing, and out of the names that were on the table, I was the only person that was selected to paint,
Wow.
the portrait. So my gallery calls me like a week later that Omofemi, something big is coming. I said, what is that? I said, you have been selected to paint the portrait of the Queen. I said, wow,
Oh my goodness.
wow, this is huge. I said, yeah, they want you to interpret the Queen the way you see the Queen. So they want you to paint the Queen. And you think about it. So I was so excited. I was so happy.
Yeah.
Like it's almost impossible for someone that lives in Ibadan, Nigeria,
In a pattern to be
to
painting the Queen of England.
now in one part and to come and paint the king, the Queen of England. So I was amazed and I was overwhelmed with the whole thing. So I was happy, and and the reason why I was happy was I knew that the uh, portrait painting of the Queen was going to make a kind of a statement that will be all over. Because if you look at the narrative, a black man painting a white woman, that is so.
And not just any white woman at all, is it?
Yeah.
Not just
so
any
and
white woman at all.
Nobody can deny the fact that the Queen was the biggest in the whole world. Nobody comes close to her. Nobody come close to her. So when I had the whole thing, the first thing I did was to go and meet my grandpa, to break the news. Yes. To break the news with him. Like, say, Grandpa, I've been asked to paint the portrait of the Queen. I'm so excited. And said, why are you so excited? And I said to him that this portrait, I'll be painting this portrait for posterity. I'll be painting this portrait for my country. I'll be painting this portrait for my family and for my state. So it's not just an ordinary portrait. And from the story that I heard from my grandpa, it was there when the Queen visited Nigeria. So I went to him hoping that I could get some information from him.
Right.
So he gave me some information that this is how the Queen looks like. The information that I needed, because grandpa is like 90-something, very close to 100.
Okay.
So he could not give me the information that I really needed. Like, I just have to get some information. So I went back home. I also break the news with my woman, and I told people around me about the news. They were so happy. Now it was now time for me to paint the portrait. So there were a lot of things going on in my mind. So I was just like, I've never met the Queen. How could I possibly capture the essence of the Queen? So there were a lot of challenges. There were a lot of emotional involvement in the whole process. So the first thing I did was to go online. I watched a lot of documentary about the Queen, how she speaks, what she does, and how she, her costume, everything about her. So I went on the internet to do that. So after that, I also went and print hundreds of pictures of the Queen. Before even starting the whole project, I pasted it all over my studio. And I even took some home. So I was even sleeping with some of these pictures. I was sleeping with some of these pictures. Yeah, I was, because my intention was that I want the Queen to appear to me. That was my intention, that if I could. So I was sleeping with the picture, the Queen might just appear to me in the dream, or appear to me physically, yes. So I was sleeping all over my bed. I was sleeping, thinking I was going to, because my major aim was to capture the essence of the Queen. So I was looking for every possible means to get that done. So after this whole process, so after this whole process,
all your paintings, you say that you capture the essence of human beings, isn't it? But this is the situation where you didn't have the physical Queen to be able to interact with. So that's why you went through that process. Is that the case?
Yes, that was the reason why I went through that process. Yes. So after that, I came to the studio. I went home and I started thinking about how do I actually capture this essence. And one of the things I learned that I've heard about the Queen was that some of these great things that we talk about the Queen was actually achieved at a younger age. So I decided to paint her while she was young, because some of these great things that we talk about this, and I was also trying in my own possible way to also reflect where I'm from in the portrait. So I also got an inspiration from the custard flower, from our coat of arms, which was the flower on the fabrics of on the clothes of the Queen. So it was actually inspired from the coat of arms of Nigeria, the flower there. So
there we go. Okay.
Yeah. So I started this whole process. After deciding on the picture that I want to use, so I started the blocking, and so I had to exclude myself from my wife for 6 weeks. So I was sleeping in separate rooms because I wanted to concentrate and I wanted to capture the essence. So So I painted the portrait for like
you didn't sleep in the same room for 6 weeks as
yes,
your wife.
I didn't sleep in the same yes, just to concentrate and stay focused. So I
Artists,
was just there.
fellow artists, have you heard him? This is the amount of
Yeah,
dedication and focus that he goes through to
yes,
achieve what he's achieved.
yeah. So I was just
Wow.
doing all this. So at a point, so at times in the studio, I even slept in the studio without even painting anything because I want to have a spiritual engagement with
That's
the
right.
portrait. So there was a time that I was even sleeping in the studio. I was not even painting anything. I painted to a point I would just have to relax. So at a point after the whole process, I had it in my spirit that it is done. And that was when I penned my signature. And I said, I've been able to capture, I've been able to paint my truth as an artist. And I signed it, and it was brought to London, and we had a kind of exhibition at Sotheby's. And during the exhibition, there were a lot of people, there were a lot of admiration from people. A lot of people were happy that from Nigeria. So out of all these bad images that some of Nigeria people are even projecting, I will still have some good people, some youth who are still making Nigeria proud. So I'm happy that I'm the last official artist to paint the portrait of the Queen before she died. So I think it's something incredible. It's something of history, and it's something of pride to my country. That
Amazing.
and I believe that history will never forget.
I'm going to clap for you because you've made history here. Now, the last official portrait of the Queen of England was from a black man from Ibadan.
From Nigeria, yes. Yeah.
Now, how old are you?
Yeah, well, I'm 35.
35 years, and you've been able to achieve this feat. Yeah.
So I painted it when I was 34 years. I painted it when I was 34 years. I'm 35 this year. So
at the age of 34, you painted the Queen of England, and you are officially the last person that painted this official.
Yeah. So after the portrait, I got an official invite from King Charles.
Hold on there. I want to show you the process that you courtesy of time. So that's your signature right there. How does it make you feel watching it back? How does it make you feel?
Yeah, I feel so happy, and it's like giving me kind of nostalgia memory. Like I was actually remembering the process, some of these emotional things that I went through while painting the portrait. So I'm really happy seeing this. It was just like everything started like yesterday. So I'm happy that that happened.
And I can imagine, as you talked about the emotional challenges that you faced as well. What other challenges did you face painting? I can imagine the pressure that comes with painting the Queen of England.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole world, you were the one chosen. So what kind of challenges did you face?
I think the first challenges that I faced was, for me, it was like a cultural shift. Because I'm used to painting black people.
Exactly.
Now, I had to like straight out all the colors, on my palette. So I had to like get a new fresh color.
Yes.
So which was a bit challenging for me. Like how do I move from dark,
to paint the white,
to white. So it was so difficult. But at the end, I was able to paint my truth.
Wow.
Which I'm so happy about.
You did well in representing your truth. I mean, you didn't just follow any other thing, but you showed elements of your style, even in this painting.
Yes.
And we can see that you give it your tradition or your stamp, your signature of the black halo on the hair. You even give the Queen the black hair.
Yeah. Yeah, so I
Amazing.
was happy
Amazing. Great
because I
job.
was actually looking at how do I put that. So I decided to like, oh, because for me, the hair on its own, it's more spiritual,
Mm.
for me. And I've always seen the hair as a kind of antenna that connects one to the spiritual realm. So for me, the hair is a symbol of power, pride, and elegance, for the
Wow.
queen. So yeah,
Wow. Wow. Amazing. We've got a comment coming in which I'd like to read. A comment from my good friend Ben Abe, who is a great artist from Ghana. He says,
yeah.
amazing. I'm enjoying it already. Great job. So great job to you from
Okay.
Ghana.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's amazing. And as a result of it, you had a lot of feature in the media. I mean, let's look on screen. The major outlets in the UK actually published your achievement. So we talk about the Telegraph, we talk about Evening Standard, Telegraph again, Metro, the People magazine, Daily Mail, Apollo. All these picked up your story from all over.
Wow.
And this is what I could gather. There are much more around the world that publish your story. How does it really make you feel that in a short period of time, your name has jumped from Ibadan to the whole world?
Well,
It's amazing,
it
isn't
makes
it?
me it makes me feel happy,
Mm,
and it's a kind of pride to me that Nigeria are getting the recognition that we deserve. So
exactly.
I'm happy, and that we are getting it. So I'm just happy that things like this are actually happening in my generation. Let me put it that way. Like things like
And
this, because it's almost impossible
yes,
for things like this to happen 10, 15 years ago. So I'm
exactly.
happy.
Exactly. And I think that you've best described it. I mean, who wouldn't be happy for the work of their hands to be shown in this way? You've been able to share your talent, and your talent has touched the whole world to the extent that they are now talking about you. They're talking about it as well, the talent as well. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then following on, not only did you appear in these newspapers, you also got to meet Prince Charles at that time, who is now the King of England at the moment.
Yeah.
Tell us
Yeah.
how it all happened.
Oh, after the painting, after the painting,
Mm.
my gallery told me that an official invite has been sent from Buckingham Palace,
Whoa.
to that they are inviting us, that they want us to come, just like Buckingham Palace. So
What?
I decide to, like, for me, everything still looks normal to me, like Buckingham Palace. See, and I know that Buckingham Palace is not a regular place that people can just go in and, but for me, someone like me, I felt like, I was just going to an ordinary,
Event. Yes.
like a friend, like someone invites me. So
Right.
I call people just screaming, "What? You are going where?" I said, "Yeah, they invited me."
Buckingham
They said, "How
Palace.
did you?" And they said, "How did you?" I said, "I feel normal, like normal." So like the pressure was not really on me because I felt like I was going to, for me going to, I felt like I was going to meet a friend or a collector there.
That's
So
it.
when I
Yes.
went there, the place is so amazing, so
Okay.
beautiful, and
Wow.
so, and when I got there, my friend, which is my representative signature, was saying, "Omofemi, how are you feeling?" I said, "I
Uh-huh.
feel normal, like everything looks normal to me." Like, said, I said, "Yeah." I said, "How are you feeling?" I said, "I feel normal." So
That's right.
after the whole thing, King Charles came around, and I was just
Oh,
there looking like, and they
normal.
said they need to, yeah, like everything has always been normal for me.
That's it.
Till now, nothing has really changed about me. It's just
Yeah.
my old style, my way of doing things. So
That's
even
right.
the suit, my friend had to, like, a day before that, I think a week before that time, he took me to a store and said, "Mofem, I want you to wear a suit." For me, I could have even dressed casually to meet the king. But he said, "No, you have to wear a suit." And I said, "Which one is all this problem, this wahala?" So
Yes. Protocol.
eventually, King Charles came and they introduced me to him, that this is the amazing artist that painted a portrait of your mom, and
That's right.
he was so happy to receive me, and he asked me about the work and what was the inspiration like, and I had to give a little explanation of how I was able to paint and the emotional part of it, and he was saying
Right.
like, "Oh, congrats, this is kudos to you. I'm happy," and So he gave me a kind of handshake and he was happy to receive me. So after painting the whole thing, I left back and people started calling me like, Omofemi. I said, how was the feeling like? I said, it is normal. How do you say it is normal? What is it? It's just normal. Like meeting Prince Charles is normal to me. I never had any pressure. I never feel still normal. Like today, anytime I think about it, I feel like it's still normal. Like
it's still normal.
And the word of the Bible said the gift of a man maketh room for him. It will make him to sit among kings and queens. So for me, I wasn't really surprised because I believe in what I'm doing. And so
exactly. The Bible verse that you quoted is in Proverbs 18, verse 16. Your gift will bring you before kings and queens. You've literally manifested it. Your gift, which you not from childhood, you've been nursing it, you've been putting the hard work, all the cries, the pains, the sad times, you stayed committed. And look at the prize. You haven't even started yet. Look at it. It took you straight in front of King Charles, the King of England. That is amazing. I mean, I suppose you framed the picture already.
I have some of the pictures here that I frame of pictures.
I would do the same. I would do the same. I would do the same. What surprises me is that in all these, as you said, you've stayed humble. You haven't said it. I can see it, that you've stayed humble all the way through. All the way through. A lot of people, when fame and popularity and money comes their way, they change all of a sudden. But you have stayed grounded. You have stayed humble. And one of the things that you said this when Al Jazeera interviewed you. You said, I want to be quiet. I want to live a normal life that an average citizen will do. Tell us more about this statement.
Well, for me, I've always had this ideology that, being famous takes away your private life, even puts you more at risk, because everything comes with price. And for someone like me, I keep saying it any day, anytime. Money does not make someone like me happy. Fine, it's essential. We all need money to, to survive in life, buy things. But for someone like me, I'm not really moved by having money or doing something, but I'm happy. I think one of the greatest things for me is to help people even do better than me. And I think that's where my true happiness really comes from. It's not about you having all the big money, knowing these places. And like I said earlier, every day of my life, I keep, I have a way of evaluating myself, my life generally. Like, if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm doing the wrong thing.
That's right.
I know I have a way of evaluating. So for me, I always want to live a quiet life. I don't want to be known. I have to be honest with you. I don't want to be known. I don't want people to know me. I just want to live a very quiet, simple life that any average person could live. So that's right. Just, that is me. And I still practice it today. So I still go to the areas where I live and I still do things with them. I still hang out with them and we still drink together. And without even
at one point you were sitting down drinking with people and people were talking about you as if you were not there. That this Nigerian artist.
Wow. I've been in different occasions. Like when people are even talking about Omofemi, like, oh, there's this one guy that painted it. Honestly, I would just sit in one corner, just be looking. And like so after the whole thing, after the whole conversation, someone will not say, this Omofemi that you are talking about is this Omofemi. And people will start saying, this is not possible. This could never be possible. And they will go online and start Googling, take my picture and look at, this is Omofemi. And they will say that, why are you so quiet? Yeah, they will ask me, why are you so quiet? I said, this is just me. This is what I represent. This is what I'm into. I'm not this type that wants, I don't want to be known. I just want to live a normal life. I just want to enjoy life at its best.
Exactly. That helps. And having said that, there's blessing in staying humble. God resists the pride and he rewards the humble. So in humility, you have stayed and God is going to continue to raise you in every area of your life. But tell us about your charitable deeds, because I'm interested in knowing what you're doing in society. I know that you are giving back to women in society, the widows. Tell us more about it.
Well, last like 2 years ago, when this whole thing began to evolve after my first solo show in London, and I was thinking of how could I, really, because for me, I'm not a religious person. I'm more spiritual than being religious.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I was thinking of how could I say thank you. I'm looking for a way to
Yes.
appreciate everything that God is doing in my life.
That's
And
right.
how do I say thank you to Him?
Mhm.
And my mom is late, and I was actually thinking of a way, doing something that God will be happy about, and also doing something to always make, remember my late mom. So
Yes.
I came up with this idea of helping the widows.
Mm. Mm.
So the
Mm.
first series 5 program that I've had with them, I never appear in the program. I always send people. I have delegates. We'll pack
Right.
the whole food and they will go. And after the whole thing, they'll be asking, who is this person?
Ooh.
Who is this person? Would like to meet him. So we've had
Wow.
like 4 of them that have never even appeared there. So we now had the last one that we had in December. So I
Yes.
decided to I want to, okay, I had one in maybe October or so, which
That's
I
right.
appear. I bring in some medical personnel to come and do a checkup for some of these older people, because in my environment, in the area that I grew up from, there are a lot of these old women there who don't even, some of them don't even have children. They don't have anybody to take care of them. Some of
That's
them don't
true.
even have someone, even to eat.
No
So
family
most of the
members
time,
to be there.
no family member to really cater for them. So most of the
Yeah.
time when I pass through this environment, I see some of them. I feel so sad, and I feel like, oh, in my own little way, I would drop something for them, try to
Exactly.
talk to them and encourage them. So I came up with this idea of, okay, I want to take this upon myself, like doing something like probably quarterly or monthly with them. So I
That's
came
right.
up with this. So the second to the last one that we did, I brought in some doctors, to do some checkup and all that thing. So the last one that we did was in December, where I decided to, some of them now, they saw me physically. They was, I know you when you were
I
very
know
small.
you.
Oh, I'm happy. I know you now. And some of these people, these are some of these people that I grew up around them. Some
Look
of them
at
were
that.
even telling people when I was small. So they were happy to receive me, and
Mm.
I gave them food items. So apart from that, I'm also, because the environment that I grew up from is one of the, I won't say it's one of the most notorious environments. It's very difficult for a young boy to really survive. So one of the other projects I also want to get myself involved with, I want to start pulling some of these guys out of this
Of the
miserable life
streets.
by,
Yes.
sending some of them to school, if any one of them wants to learn, and also use my story as a case study for them, that I
Exactly.
grew up in this environment. I was never born with golden spoon
A
or
silver
silver
spoon
spoon.
or golden spoon.
Yeah,
Yes.
so nothing. So this is where, so I have a story to tell
That's
and to
right.
also bring them together. So after that, I also had a competition, like a kind of competition last year,
Oh,
like
that's
a
good.
food competition.
That's
Yeah,
it.
which was titled Ijewurude. I only used that Ijewurude to bring people, because while I was growing up in this environment, some of the major challenges that I faced was the issue of food. It was
Yeah.
very difficult for me to even feed myself then.
Look
And I
at that.
remember some of the things that I did. I would go to bar to pick up some leftover food on the floor to
Wow.
eat, all because I wanted to survive. I went through a lot of things, that I
Wow.
cannot start explaining here, just to survive, because
Right.
I always have a focus that this is where I'm going to. So, and I was focused, even with a lot of things, off beers, work at the car wash, just to even raise money to feed myself. So
Feed
I
yourself. Yeah.
understand what it really takes,
Mm.
to feed in that kind of environment. So I try to bring people. Now, okay, you people should come and hear my story,
That's
and
it.
come and eat, just to put them, to my side. So I had this competition whereby the first and second, I was giving them some cash, some amount
That's
of
right.
money to encourage them, and I also invited two or three of my secondary school teachers, like 3 of them, yeah,
Yes.
to come and also tell them about me,
How about you?
you know, tell them about the whole thing, and so it was, an amazing evening that very day. So I'm happy that I'm doing this, because this is just my little way of giving back to the society.
Well done, well done, well done. I think you are really impacting your society, because you've lived it. You're not just coming there to give them motivation. No, you've lived the whole process, and you are telling them that it is possible.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Well done for what you've done. And I'm so happy that you've shared this side of your story with us, because for any artist out there who thinks they can't make ends meet, it's impossible. No, Femi has done it. It is possible. Put in the hard work, keep producing, and you never know who will be watching you. These days, technology has even made it easy for us to put our work out there on the internet. So all you need is commitment and dedication. So we really appreciate you. Have you got any last words for us to encourage us, for the young ones who are coming up?
Well, I think the only encouragement I'm going to give to anybody listening to me is, number one, always believe in yourself. And number two, in believing in yourself, try as much as possible to work with the people that have the revelation of who you are.
Exactly.
You need all this thing around you. You need people around you. But no matter what, always believe in yourself. Believing in yourself is believing in God.
That's it.
So that's the word for.
Believing in yourself is believing in God, because He has created us in His own image.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very nicely put. No, we really appreciate you this afternoon. For people, if they want to contact you on social media, are these the handles that they should use?
Yeah, Oluwole Omofemi, at Oluwole Omofemi.
Exactly. On Facebook, on Instagram, and even on YouTube. If you type his name on Google, he'll come up. Just Google him. He's all over the place now. No, we really appreciate you for this afternoon. And I know that at the beginning of the year, you release some 12 points that every artist should consider. And I think it would be good for us to do a different video just on the 12 points and talk about each of the points. That will be awesome. So I'll look forward to that as well.
Okay, sure.
All right, then. God bless you, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, then.
So,
viewers, if you want to see more of these videos, I want you to go to my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see more of the artists that I bring every Saturday from the Black community, from the African continent, showcasing our talent. So we thank Omofemi for the brilliant work that he has done. We thank him for the awesome stories that he has told us. He has shown us that it is possible if you believe in yourself. So thank you for joining us today. And next week, I'll be bringing you someone else to talk about their story. God bless you and have a nice day.